Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's that time of the year where I round up my favourite albums from this past year, and this year I will be listing my top 25 albums of 2025, following a similar trend to last year where I did my top 24 albums of 2024. And just to do the usual pre-list spiel here on the channel, and to say that this is a multi-genre list. It won't just be metal albums, although usually most of the albums are metal, but you do sometimes get other genres appearing on my list, and I usually call those albums the wildcard albums, so look out for those if you're looking for actually something else other than metal to listen to, maybe, because I do actually have some wildcards certainly appearing on this list this year. A couple of other things to say as well. This is very much my own list. It's going to be different to yours. The way we experience music and our own taste for music is always very different. So I expect you'll have your own lists and your own choices, and maybe just put in the comments the albums I missed or the albums you really loved. I'd be interested to hear from you. And lastly, before I finish and move on to this year-end list, to these top 25 albums, just to say, if you're new to the channel or you're revisiting the channel, or maybe you like to watch my year-end list, do drop a like and a subscribe. It really helps me and supports the channel and encourages me to continue doing videos like this. So that's all said and done now. I just want to crack on with this list. And I think this is a pretty strong list. This top 10 are perhaps my favourite top 10 of the 2020 so far. And yeah, not joking about that. So let's start with number 25. We've got Edge of Paradise with Prophecy, their 6th studio album. A collection of very catchy tunes here from this hard rock band fronted by Margarita Monet. Really impressive album. Thoroughly enjoyed that one earlier this year. That comes in at 25, Edge of Paradise, Prophecy. At 24, we've got Electrocutioner, the New York thrash metal band, with their 2nd album, Harbinger. Really full throttle, no nonsense, in your face thrash metal from Mark Pacino and crew here. Thoroughly enjoyed it and got to interview Mark as well. That comes in at number 24. At 23, we've got Wisp If Not Winter, the TikTok star proving she can deliver a very competent and well-performed shoegaze album here, with her brand of very soft vocals, but quite interesting mix of, distorted guitars and, reverb in a very smoothly produced shoegaze album here from Wisp. I think the title track is actually pretty stunning, and this one has grown on me a bit over time as well. So at number 23, we've got Wisps If Not Winter. At 22, we've got Purity Ring's self-titled 4th LP, a video game concept here at play, and the electronic duo from Canada once again delivering and proving that I've always felt they are kind of pushing forward electronic music in the way that they tweak and layer their very own kind of style of music here, and in a kind of electro scene. Thoroughly enjoy this Purity Ring record. Love The Long Night and I'm an Ocean in particular on this album. Now lastly, before we move on to the top 20, at number 21 we've got Blut Nord with Ethereal Horizons, an album I've only just checked out. This is of course the atmospheric black metal band, a really undersung band I think, and it's good to see them actually get quite a lot of recognition now in this metal community online, on YouTube. So really enjoyable album from Blut Nord. Comes in at 21, which moves me on to my top 20. At number 20, we've got AFI with Silver Bleeds the Black Sun. A very enjoyable, full embracing of an 80s goth post-punk sound here from the AFI guys. And yeah, lots of catchy tunes on this one that will get stuck in your head after repeat listens. And yeah, really enjoyed the likes of Marguerite on here, and Bird of Prey. Holy Visions is another track I thoroughly liked. So yeah, coming in at 20, AFI's Silver Bleeds the Black Sun. Next up at 19, we've got Arch Enemy's Blood Dynasty. And despite all the drama surrounding the recent split of Alyssa White-Gloves from Arch Enemy, I felt this was actually one of the strongest albums with her in the band. And I really enjoyed the likes of songs like the opening track, Dream Stealer, the also really cool Paper Tiger, and the title track was really good for me as well. It's sort of like, it's an abundance of fun, enjoyable, not super complex, but pretty memorable melodic death metal on here, and I just thought it was a very good album, and I feel like it does still deserve its spot at number 19 despite the recent hullabaloo around Alyssa leaving the band. Next up at number 18, we've got Eternal Idol's Behind a Vision, and this was another really fun album, but I think what made this album stand out for me, this is symphonic power metal, by the way, so if you like symphonic metal or power metal, I think you'll enjoy Behind a Vision by Eternal Idol. Also of note is that this band was originally the side project of Fabio Leone of Rhapsody of Fire. So, there's another link there to if you're a power metal fan. But it was the two vocalists here that provided some spectacular displays of really kind of great vocal harmonies and interchanges. And that's what made this record stand out for me. And that's why Eternal Idol Behind a Vision comes in at number 18. Now we move on to 17, which is Sharon Van Etten and the Attachment Theory. What a great album this was early in the year. And it's done well, I think, to stay on my list as the year's gone on, because we've had a load of great releases, I think, in the second half of 2025. But this has hung on to its spot in my top 25 because Sharon's vocals here are often stunning. And I love actually the way her vocals mix with that 80s post-punk sound that I think is ever present on this record. She makes great use of space with the vocals. I Want You Here, I think, is one of the highlights in terms of album closers, at least for 2025. Amazing record from Sharon Van Etten coming in here at 17. Next up at 16, we've got Revocation with New Gods, New Masters. David Davison seems to have an inexhaustive list of riffage, or, this sort of mind-boggling ability to come up with very technical yet kind of memorable guitar riffs at the same time. And I feel like this record, whilst I maybe didn't think it was quite as good as Never Heaven from 3 years ago, I still feel that it was, just really kind of exciting technical death metal that is the right level of digestible and challenging at the same time. A very enjoyable Revocation record. Once again, they just never seem to let up to Revocation, always deliver. Some of my favourites on here included the likes of Data Corps, Dystopian Vermin, Confines of Infinity with that sort of really kind of slow, sludgy riff. I really enjoyed that one as well. Coming in next at number 15 is perhaps surprising that this one has only made the 15 spot. It would have been higher, but for the late rush of great records we had this year. This is Deftones and Private Music. I'm sure Hector Children on a Couch has this one a bit higher on his list, I suspect. I don't know for sure till I watch Hector's video. But yeah, this was, for me, probably their best since Koi no Yokan. I will say I did still enjoy Ohms, and I did still enjoy Gore quite a bit too. But I think this is their most complete sounding album since Koi no Yokan overall. And I think it is them playing to their strengths very much so. But Deftones playing to their strengths usually means you're going to get a strong Deftones record. And that's exactly what you got with Private Music here. Some of my favourites include Ecdysis. I Think About You All the Time is one of their shoegazier style tracks, which I thoroughly enjoyed on here as well. So Deftones, Private Music comes in at number 15. Now we're getting hotter and hotter as we get towards the top 10. At number 14, we've got Cryptopsy with Insatiable Violence. An oppressive, smothering, brutal display of technical death metal. Absolutely love this one from front to back. There's usually the odd tech death pick on my list, and I feel like this one has justified its spot at 14. The Canadian tech death band's 9th album here. Love Until There's Nothing Left and The Art of Emptiness as two examples of fabulous tracks from this tech death outfit. Now, number 13 is I think a very divisive pick, certainly divisive when it came out. That is Steven Wilson's The Overview. Now, I love pretty much everything he does, or certainly most of what he does. The last couple of albums, maybe not quite as much. And the reason this has made it as high as number 13, despite even me not being completely blown away by it, is just that I really loved the first suite, the first track, the 23-minute Objects Outlive Us, which I thought had some really great moments in. But there's context to why this has made it to number 13 on my list. It came at a time when I had finally, after a really long haul trying to sell my flat back where I used to live, this was the first album I listened to after that sort of, exhausting process. And so it kind of comforted me hearing Steven Wilson. Even if it's not one of his best records, I personally still really love this one. I love The Overview. And kind of the whole concept of it as well was sort of oddly reassuring, I guess, for humanity. And I personally enjoyed The Overview coming in here at number 13. Moves us on next to number 12 on my list, which is Xanius Xanias and Cataclysm. I actually went to see her live in September. I thought she was great. You know, she's got a really kind of an authentic, very striking singing voice with her brand of dark wave and synth pop. So yes, you guessed it, Xanias is a wild card for 2025. And she brought, along with her electronic music, more of a personal and politically charged themed record here. But she didn't lose any of her musicality along the way, with tracks like the absolutely mesmerising Cataclysm, the title track, which opens this record in some style. I urge you, if you like darkwave, if you like synth pop, if you like any of that kind of moody style, and you like kind of, you know, female vocals overlaying that, you're going to absolutely adore Cataclysm by Xanias. So what an incredible song from 2025. One of my favourites for sure. Xanias comes in at number 12. Next up at 11, we've got Messrs The Spin, the Italian doom outfit here, producing the goods once again with a very mesmerising record, with some spectacular displays from their vocalist. Added to that, you've also got some fantastic saxophone work in The Dress proving another highlight for me in terms of songs from 2025. Also love the opener Void Meridian from this record. So therefore, Messrs The Spin comes in at number 11 and moves us swiftly on to my top 10 albums of 2025. And at number 10, we've got Spirit Box's Tsunami Sea. Love or hate Spirit Box, there's no questioning their talent for me. I think they're a hugely talented band. And I actually slightly preferred this record personally to Eternal Blue, but I will subscribe to the fact that is just down to my taste in Spirit Box. I like Spirit Box dark, Spirit Box heavy, Spirit Box abstract, pushing themselves to do new things. And I thought there was enough on this album off that to keep me interested. I love Soft Spine. I really loved Haven with Two Faces, I think it is. I thought that was a grower for me. And the spectacular vocal screams from Courtney on Opa, Fata Morgana, leaving hairs standing up on the back of my neck because it was that damn good. So Spirit Box's Tsunami Sea comes in at number 10, gets the number 10 spot as we enter my top 10. And I get, as I did last year, more and more excited. The Green Man's excitement starts to maybe get a little bit out of control sometimes as well. I'll try and contain that a bit this year if I can. Coming up at number 9, we've got Hazard, the thrash metal band, with their album The Third Dimension, which was way back in January, yet this album has kept its spot in the top 10 because it is a freaking awesome record with an abundance of urgent guitar work and a style of thrash that is really commendable with what I think they managed to do on this album. Thoroughly enjoyable record from this Canadian thrash metal. I feel like there's a lot of Canadian bands on my list this year, actually. I'll have to count up the number of, countries, number of bands by an artist by country, because I think it'd be interesting to see how many from Canada there are, because I think there's quite a few. But yeah, Hazard's The Third Dimension here comes in at number 9. Next up at number 8, we've got this epic, incredible record, which could have actually been higher on my list. I just don't think the album quite keeps up its level of epic for its entire runtime. This is singer-songwriter Anna von Hauswolf. Yes, this is another wild card for 2025 in my top 10 with her album Iconoclasts. And the sort of first half of this album is so stunning. It left my jaw on the floor, actually. Maybe not quite literally my jaw on the floor, but I probably had my jaw quite low down at the time of listening to this record. I mean, it was just, there's this sort of... Anna has these amazing vocal highs and pretty incredible vocal range for a start. And she sort of really delivers, these really high vocal moments alongside swelling, interesting instrumental arrangements too. And you kind of get these incredible passages of really emotive music from her on this album. And I have to say, but for the album's later part, which didn't interest me as much, this album would be probably easily a contender for Album of the Year otherwise. As it is, it's at number 8 here in my top 10. I love the likes of Facing Atlas, Stardust, the Iconoclast. Well, I don't want to give anything away here, but that was an amazing song, to say the least, because I've got a favourite songs list coming up fairly soon on the channel. Next up at number 7, we've got Between the Buried and Me and the Blue Nowhere, the progressive metal band producing a fantastic album here. And I love what they do here. I love the way they continue to push the boundaries with how they splice together different genres and carry that off so effectively well. The title track is stunning as well. Tommy Rogers proving how good he is at clean vocals as well as harsh vocals, I think, on this record. And it is definitely one of my favourites from 2025. Next up at 6, we've got a surprise choice, another wildcard. Another wildcard. How many more wildcards, Green Man, are you going to have in your top 10? Well, that's not quite the end of them, but Sophie Ellis Bextor here comes in at number 6 with Perimenopop. A fun, very immediate collection of pop songs. But I think some of the best work is here, and it will evoke memories for those of you that remember Sophie Ellis Bextor from the 2000s with albums like Read My Lips. I feel like she's still got that kind of, that style present on this record, but the songs are no less good. I think she's got songs here which would have been big hit songs had they come out in the 2000s. Obviously, she's had a bit of a resurgence since the release of Saltburn, where they used her song, a classic song, Murder on the Dance Floor. And this album, Perimenopop, I think has some great moments on it, some fun moments. Some of my favourite tracks include the likes of Glamorous, also the Freedom of the Night on here too. You got Vertigo is a great track as well. So much to enjoy on this Sophie Ellis Bextor record. Next up at number 5, we've got, wait for it, Ghost Skeletor. And this album is just basically, I know it's probably not their best album, but how many times have I been back to this album since it came out? Absolutely tons. I love this record. It's right up my street. It's kind of 80s arena rock sounding, and it's just a blast. Tobias Forge sounds great here. I love the guitar work on here too. It is catchy. It is memorable. Ticks all the boxes for what the Green Man enjoys. Satanized, De Profundis Borealis, Marks of the Evil One is an all-time favourite Ghost track for me. So I don't care what anyone says. Ghost, great album here with Skeletor coming in my top 5 at number 5. Now we move on to number 4, which is, now, what do you possibly know the Green Man for? You know him for symphonic metal and probably also for interviewing a lot of symphonic metal singers, right? On that series I did a couple of years ago. That means you won't be surprised to see this band on my list, particularly as their album cover was also in the thumbnail of the video. That is the mighty Epica, with, for me, an absolutely fabulous, probably a top 5 record for them, and they are a band full of fantastic albums with A Spiral. What a phenomenal album for me. And I think this actually stands apart from a lot of their other records because the guitar tone sounds so damn good. I love the guitar work on this record. Some of their best, actually, for me, on their variants. Simone obviously also sounds spectacular, as always, on here, with the likes of Oblivion. She shines on that song. Oh my God, the Grand Saga of Existence is a mic drop track. How good is that, symphonic metal fans? How good is the Grand Saga of Exister? It's fucking awesome, is what it is. Coming in next, at number 3, we've got Astronoid Star God. Another album like the Ghost album. I just revisited it loads in the short space of time since its release in November. I mean, this hasn't been out for long yet. I've been back to it a load because it kind of has this sort of 80s Rush style combined with some thrash metal motifs, and it is a stunning record actually, with songs like Vicenium, Star God, Third Shot proving to be some of my favourites of the year so far. It's a great record. I mean, it's front to back, hugely enjoyable. As I think Necrotic Nick said on Thralls of Metal, it's like an 80s fever dream. That is the best description you could give for Astronoid Star God. What a stunning album. Next up at number 2, another stunning record, this time from an Abstract Illusion with The Sleeping City. Phenomenal record front to back. The progressive death metal outfit from Sweden don't seem to know how to do anything, not just, good, but, they seem to just do everything fantastically well. And they've done that once again here with The Sleeping City. But somehow, this album, despite me giving it a 10 out of 10, is not my album of the year. My album of the year for the first time, I'd say for the first time ever on this channel, but for the first time on my year-end list since 2015, is a wildcard. It's a non-metal album. It's not even prog. It is Stella Donnelly, the singer-songwriter from Australia, with an album which is intimate, soulful, personal, organic. It sounds natural. It is kind of a little bit folky and at the same time brilliantly written from front to back. a fairly short album. At no moment is any moment wasted on this stunning, as I say, release. Quite emotive as well, about a sort of broken friendship that she explores here, but she does so in a way which I feel is full of soul, full of, as I say, great writing, some stunning vocal arrangements on tracks like Please Everyone, which are just incredible songs to me, and another incredible song, Year of Trouble. I mean, yeah, it's not a metal album, but it doesn't make it any less good, does it? It is an absolutely incredible album, I think, for Stella Donnelly. And yeah, she, I think, deserves my #1 album of the year this year for this spot. And this album, can I just say, it's like the antithesis to all the AI slop that's out there, because it's totally natural in sound, it's very organic, and it is full of real human soul and, you know, that kind of reflection on human experience. So that's why that is my #1 album. Nice to have a wild card as my #1 for the first time in years. Otherwise, for me, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to it's been a long video. I was going to say don't forget to drop a like and sub once again, but I did say that earlier. So anyway, I'm tired. It's been a long video. It's been a long day. But until next time on The Green Man, it is bye for now.